They reflect the opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints of PullgetterTV. Viewer discretion is advised.
Radio and KNON 89.3 FM on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. to midnight. And you are watching PullgetterTV. Get your fucking pull.
You wanted the best! You got the best! I'll meet the boys at the PGA house tonight. They got a pot on a crown. It's going down our range. We'll hit the rail and camp a bird. We'll take our shots in groups of threes. We'll head back up at the clubhouse. Blow it all up and start all over again. The PGA, there ain't no telling what we'll get into. The drink will flow, blood will spill. Before we're fucking through, could be a ball getter. Ball getter. A ball getter. The only way is all the way. Ball getter. Could be a ball getter. A ball getter. The only way. All the way. We got reason to drink and right to sing our song. And if you don't agree, it doesn't make us wrong. We got Jaeger and Crown and lots of smoke and money last night. Now I'm broke, but had a good time with the getters. We blow it up a dime all the time. With the PGA, there ain't no telling what we'll get into. The drink will flow, blood will spill. Before we're fucking through, could be a ball getter. A ball getter. Yeah, ball getter. The only way is all the way. Ball getter. Could be a ball getter. Yeah, ball getter. The only way, all the way. Bottle of Jaeger. Bottle of Crown. We're still going. Rock and go. Get your pull. Could be a ball getter. A ball getter. Could be a ball getter. The only way is all the way. Ball getter. Could be a ball getter. Yeah, ball getter. The only way, all the way.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to PullgetterTV. Sunday nights. We got very special guests tonight. Our good friends Kevin White and Eric Knudsen starting their new project, Desolation Angels.
Awesome.
That's right. They're bringing some bad company stank to your neighborhood right there. So, those of you guys that don't know these cats, they've been in the Dallas-Fort Worth metal scene since the late 70s, early 80s. I mean, no, a long time. I mean, I don't, now respectively, I know K-Nude, you you grew up here, so you were in it basically since you were a teenager in the early 80s.
Yes.
And Kevin, when did you jump on board, man? Same?
No, I grew up originally in Louisville, but then we moved to East Texas, and I went to high school down there, and so I didn't get back into it until, I didn't get into it actively until college, so early 90s.
Early 90s. That
Yeah.
was a hell of a time to jump into, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
the
we had a
scene
few
was-
things happening.
It was so vibrant and alive. And,
Man.
you could have the Dixie Chicks come out of here, right, with Trippin' Daisy and
Yeah.
Reverend Horton Heat and the Toadies. I mean, it was just boom, boom. And then Pantera, of course, was
Of
changing,
course. Drowning
changing
Pool.
the
Yeah, it was
metal
crazy.
as we know it. So, and you're from Little Green Men.
I am.
And are you doing any other projects? Because your nickname is The Voice. Okay?
The voice of the people.
That's right.
Yeah, I do have another project. I have a swing band. We
Really?
do 1950s rock and roll and swing music and just kind of good times. It's a 10-piece band, got a full horn section, piano
Wow.
player, all that. We're called the Dime Store Hoods.
From Stand By Me.
Exactly. And yeah, we play 95% of our shows in Deep Ellum. Sons of Herman Hall, place called High and Tight Barbershop.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah. And we're about to do a few road shows coming up in the next few months. We're going to Vicksburg, Mississippi, and we're going to, where's the other one?
It's in the Green Book.
Yeah. I can't remember where the other one is, but anyway, we're heading out on the road, which is quite an undertaking with that many musicians in the band trying to get everybody's schedules together, and
Oh, yeah.
it's a
of course.
nightmare.
How many of you are
More
there?
people.
There's 10 of us.
Oh my gosh.
10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and we do have sort of not a revolving door, but we have 2 or 3 people that come in on bass and on drums because they're all working musicians, and so all of us have multiple gigs, and it's fun though. It's a lot of fun to get out there and sing Elvis and Bobby Darin and
I bet.
Louis Jordan and Frank Sinatra.
That's some good music.
Oh,
Absolutely.
it's incredible.
Really good music,
It's
yeah.
incredible. I have a great time with that.
And a
Totally
step to the
different
side
vibe.
from what,
Yeah.
from what you're doing otherwise in the
I
scene.
mean, it couldn't be more different than,
Yeah.
LGM and now Desolation. So
It's cool you can be broad like that.
Right.
And hit all these genres, flawlessly.
well, I was raised that way, liking a lot of different kinds of music. My parents were into Elvis, of course, and into like Chicago and Blood, Sweat, and Tears and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And so I cut my teeth on that, and then I had a couple of older cousins that got me into rock and roll at a very young age.
That's what I'm talking
Bought my
about.
first Kiss album when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
It was all downhill from there.
Yeah, you do have a pretty remarkable Kiss collection. I remember you did a live walkthrough
Yeah.
of all the stuff you had, man. And
Yeah.
it kind of went semi-viral, didn't it? I mean, you
Yeah.
pretty impressed the internet out there.
Yeah, I shared it on a couple of Kiss pages, and people were kind of freaking out about it.
Hey, man, you started when you're 5.
I
You know,
did.
how can you not accumulate?
And I lost a lot of it along the way because of various things. A grandmother who thought that Kiss was most certainly in league with the devil. And
Knights in Satan's service.
yes.
All grandmothers thought that at the
Yeah,
time.
for sure. So she relieved me of some of my early artifacts, unfortunately. But yeah, I've been collecting my whole life, and yeah.
So did you actually have to like hide your Kiss stash like porno or something, like under your bed, in your underwear drawer to keep grandma from finding it?
That kind of happened later on when I got into Iron Maiden and Slayer
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like that.
Right, where you actually have pentagrams.
Because even my
No, Mom,
yeah,
Motley Crue.
Yeah,
it's not
it's just
demonic.
Motley
It's just
Crue.
called Shout at the Devil.
shout at
Yeah,
the
there's
devil.
a
Not,
pentagram on it, yes, but
At
it's
the
not.
devil, yeah.
that was the big argument. It's shout at the devil.
Oh man.
The
So-
funny thing is, my grandmother, I picked up Iron Maiden Number of the Beast on the way home from church camp.
Oh wow.
We stopped off and went to the record store, and that was the one that I picked out. And my grandmother, not knowing what she was listening to, asked me what I was listening to on my Walkman. So I handed her the headphones. She's listening to, I think it was Run to the Hills. And she's sitting there just grooving.
Yeah?
And, she can't tell that she's screaming. She's like, I like that. And I'm like, yeah, you don't have to yell. You're
You're like, and this is Eddie.
yeah. Please don't look at the cover
Yeah,
of this
right,
album.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I want you to, So yeah, go way back in metal and hard rock. Not as far back as E, but pretty close.
I remember that, coming out and the Number of the Beast, because you're like, man, that's satanic. Like, if you listen to the lyrics, it's actually not, because at the end it says, I shall inform the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, sex. No.
Well,
More of a
stuff,
warning than anything else,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of their stuff was that touched on the occult and stuff,
Yeah.
Well, that stuff sold back in the 80s. No
Oh,
one
yeah.
really does it anymore. Unless they're like black metal or whatever. But
It reaches a point, just like anything, where it gets so extreme and so over the top
saturated.
that it's no longer shocking. I mean, after the dudes in Mayhem friggin' killed themselves or
That's tough
killed
to-
each other, it's like, okay, how far can we go? Church
That
burnings,
far?
whatever. Yeah, that would probably be the end of it. Right?
Take a picture of the dead body and use it as the album cover for
Yeah.
Dawn of the Black Hearts.
Right. I mean, that's just,
Yeah, how do you top that? You just don't.
you don't.
Write an album called "Here's the Line" and have it be about that album.
That's a good idea.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in again tonight. We got Little Green Men here, Kevin White, and Eric Knudsen group. Eric Knudsen. As you ain't going to join anyone. You should be flattered because he doesn't leave Eric Knudsen group.
No. Well, I don't
he's
expect
joining
him.
your group.
I don't expect
That's
him
the
to leave
big
him.
thing.
No, it's a big thing for both of us to do, this whole tribute thing.
Yeah.
Because I, for one, swore that I would never do it. And
That was the beginning of our we're the same here.
Exactly. And that's why I was so surprised when I saw.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Desolation Angels, and it had both y'all's name on it. Oh, they're finally doing some shit together. You guys have jammed many times on
Yeah.
stage live
yeah,
and whatever,
yeah,
but you never really worked in a project together.
well,
so-
hell, we've known each other for 20, 25 years, and
Right.
and we've talked about it over and over. Hey, we need to get together. Let's write some songs. Let's do something.
Yeah.
And, we've jumped up on stage with each other, as you said, and all of that, and always had a good time. I guess what the reason to get into the tribute thing is not necessarily, we're not, and if you come see us Saturday at Gas Monkey.
Friday.
I'm sorry, it's Friday.
The
Dang
day
it.
after Thanksgiving.
Dang it. Friday the 29th at Gas Monkey with Back in Black and the awesome Snakeskin Cowboys. When you see us, obviously we don't look like Bad Company. As
Right.
I've said before, I look like I ate Paul Rogers. I don't look like I am Paul Rogers. And,
I don't know what that would taste like.
well,
Rock and roll.
He was an awesome singer, man. Completely
might
awesome
leave you-
Roger,
singer,
yeah.
might leave you a little blue because he's a pretty good blues guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he's another one that's,
But anyway, our point is not to pay tribute in the sense of being everything, right? We're not to the T. We're not being Bad Company. We are paying tribute to their music and what they meant to the development of hard rock in the 70s. They were a super group. They came together from various bands, from Free and from King Crimson and from Mott the Hoople, to make this band. And that was kind of my idea with starting Desolation Angels, is I wanted to get some cats who had played around in the scene for a long time, have made success in their own right. Eric with Phantom X and with the Eric Knudsen group, and a variety of other things, and myself with Little Green Men, and our drummer James Michael McLester. He's played with Solinger. He's played with the Tesla tribute band, the Modern Day Cowboys, and lots of other projects.
yeah,
Supernova.
he just did
Yep,
that.
Supernova.
Like
Yeah.
damn good feather in his
Great,
cap.
great band. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a great
He
drummer.
goes way back too, and he just did the Roaring Truth, right?
Roaring
That was
Truth.
his last project.
Yeah, he's still doing Roaring
Oh, okay.
Truth. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think they played recently or are about to play. Forgive me, James, for not knowing that off the top of my head, but yeah. So we've all kind of come together under the moniker of Desolation Angels. Like I said, I'm a huge Paul Rogers fan. In fact, top 3 vocalist for me. I've always said he has the perfect hard rock voice.
Yeah.
Ronnie James Dio has the perfect metal voice. Tip of the hat to Bruce Dickinson as well.
Yeah.
And, Lou Gramm from Foreigner maybe has the perfect rock voice, but Paul Rodgers fits right in there. And I've said for years and years that I'd love to do some of his music. And we saw him earlier this year opening for ZZ Top out at the Starplex and or whatever the hell they call it now.
Starplex, you're right.
It's always going to be the
Yeah,
Starplex.
yeah. I don't care what they what kind of corporate crap they put on it. But anyway, I was sitting there going on and on about how I wanted to do, Paul Rodgers, and Christy, my fiance, was like, "Will you just shut up about this and do it already?
Hey.
Call Eric," because I already said that I wanted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
First I heard of that.
No, you were you were always in my brain
All right, cool.
as the guitar player, and
Yeah.
she goes, "Call Eric and get this thing going."
Well, the beauty of that, Paul Rodgers hasn't missed a lick.
No.
He's like a fine wine.
Oh, man.
It's better and better. The stuff we did with Queen,
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Or like a well-distilled tequila, huh?
Hey,
Ah,
now that's a
Patient.
nice
Yeah.
little
yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
shameless plug.
Why haven't I tried any, by the way?
We'll get on that. We'll talk some number one tequila here in a
Awesome.
bit.
Paul Rodgers, God bless him, but Lou Gramm, he ain't got it anymore.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. Paul Rodgers is still in that vein where he's like, I can't believe the guy's almost 70 years older. Now he probably is.
He's pretty
Yeah.
close.
And still just nails it.
And what's incredible is they play all of their tunes in the original keys.
Yeah. Tune
You know,
down
they
yet.
don't tune
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
and he can still hit the notes. Now, I mean, he plays around with it. He moves around with his vocals, which
Yeah.
I admire.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
Every time you see him do even Rock and Roll Fantasy, which everyone knows, he does it differently.
Thank
he
God.
adds something to it.
I can't stand it when you go to see a band and it's the exact same thing as the way it's recorded.
Note per
I
note.
mean, that's and that's great. That you're able to do that as a musician. If
Yeah.
you're able to do that, but at the same time, if you're able to just do your own thing and come up with it on the fly and do some different notes, it's always
And
such.
thank you for that comment, because that's exactly what we intended to do and intend to do with this band.
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
that's right.
It
Yeah.
shows your talent separate from the band. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's paying tribute. It isn't saying, like you said, it isn't saying you're trying to be them.
No.
You're showing tribute, and you have talent yourself. Why not
Yeah.
show some of that?
And
too?
our first conversation between Eric and I, he said, "Well, I'm not interested in just sitting there playing somebody else's music, And I said, no, me either. I want us to take that core music and make it our own. And, if you want to expand some stuff, expand some solos, play something that wasn't there in the original, change it up, we'll change arrangements, whatever. Because, again, I think that is actually very much a part of what Bad Company was. Or is. They're still going. They do that. They don't just sit there and regurgitate the same stuff. They play the hits, of course, but they play them in a unique way. And we play them in an even more unique way than that, because we're metal guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna metal it up, We're gonna do some things that hopefully makes it interesting. Even if you've seen Bad Company a million times, come see Desolation Angels, you're gonna get a different experience.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But
Very
it'll
cool.
always appeal to the Bad Company fan.
Oh yeah, we're not getting so far away from
yeah.
it. It's not
Oh,
like
no,
we're
no. And there's certain licks that you have to do or you lose a song.
yeah.
Right.
But, in that conversation, for me, it was like, there's, to me, and the tribute thing for us that we became the common ground was that we don't want to limit our artistic expression.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like if Kevin came to me or I came to him and said, check out this picture of Mona Lisa painted. It looks just like Mona Lisa. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Might as well have a print.
What's the point?
do something with it.
Yeah.
Put a joint in her mouth and a swastika on her.
Give her
forehead.
eyebrows.
That would make the news.
Do something with it. So
Never had eyebrows before.
Yeah, be artistic with it, which is cool. And to me, Bad Company is centered around an awesome singer, and
Yeah.
and the music is the talent in the band is good.
Yeah.
The drums, bass, guitar, that kind of stuff. But for a guy like me, who is an '80s rock metal guitar player,
It's restricted.
It's restricted, which is like, hey, but it's not necessarily restrictive. It's more of a canvas of
Right.
we can
Yeah.
check this out, do a little different,
And what that means to you guys that might not know, EKG is He's one of the best guitarists around here, if not the best. And you can
appreciate
see him
that.
on the Red Mexican.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is Alex Ramundo?
I
Is he
believe
still
so.
on Netflix?
I haven't looked.
Well,
It is on Netflix.
Is it?
Yes.
Check out that if you got Netflix. Check that comedy show out, and you'll see Eric up on stage,
Yeah.
and you'll understand.
There
What
should
we're
be two. Alex Ramondo's a comedian, and there's Red Mexican and Hispanic.
Oh, that's what I
yeah,
Hispanic. Yeah.
and Red Mexican. Yeah.
Okay, actually, that may be what's on Netflix, but I know I ran across it the other day.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
Right on. So check that out if you have Netflix, and if it's the one he's on, you'll know why. It's restrictive, the Bad Company stuff, because he's badass and he throws in. It's hard to play solos when you're feeling other stuff. You're kind of restricting yourself if you're going to play it note for note instead of going off and
Right,
wailing and
yeah.
filling in the gaps.
But again, there are songs of Bad Company, any tribute that like say Tush by ZZ Top.
Yeah.
That particular tune, if you don't play that solo, you lose the song.
Right.
So there are some that you kind of have to get
Absolutely.
pretty damn close, and like All Right Now is one of those. It's for me, I have to do it pretty much as it goes.
The rule of thumb for me
to a degree.
has always been in doing cover tunes because when with LGM we play a lot of shows all night, just us, so we know hundreds of cover tunes.
Yeah.
And for me, the rule of thumb is if you can sing along with it when you. If the solo is so well known that you sing along for it note by note, like All Right Now, then you got to do that. Otherwise, like Eric said, you lose the song. The audience is going to think, oh, they just screwed that
It's a major identifier.
up. Yeah.
Shows your musicianship that you guys are able to decipher which ones are the ones that you gotta do and which ones are the ones you
Right.
can have
Yeah.
fun with and then take off from there. So
And it's the same thing for me vocally. I'm not
Right.
I'm not going to sit there and just absolutely try to sound like Paul Rogers. I love when somebody tells me I do, especially when I'm not playing a Bad Company tune, and I've gotten that a few times, which is cool. So it's not that I'm trying to emulate him note for note, as you said, but the style and the meaning behind it. A lot of this music is, you can tell it's very heartfelt. It's very
The feel knob.
soulful. Yeah, the
Yeah.
feel knob's all the
Feel
way.
knob.
Totally see that.
exactly what a tribute should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I understand y'all's not wanting to start a tribute band. Tribute bands get a lot of flack around here. I think it's because there's so many out there, and it's in a way enticing bars to get away from like metal
Yeah.
that doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah.
And bringing it, and then there's like this resentment for original bands that against cover bands and tribute bands. But as far as I've never saw a problem with it ever, but I understand you guys being all original stuff, why you would balk at doing a tribute band. So whenever he hit you up, what was it? Bad Company? Like, did you ever see yourself doing a tribute to Bad Company, or if he said, "Hey, let's start a tribute band," you pick.
okay.
What would you pick?
Well, I can answer that. The
Besides
first,
Allman Brothers,
Just because he looks like an Allman Brother
I
doesn't
know,
mean.
right? He'd be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, the first thing was that it was Kevin White that asked, and I respect him. And I there would be an extremely short list that I would have listened to start with, because I have friends in the tribute scene. I think a lot of them are really, really kick ass. They do an awesome job. Some of them dress that way, look that way. Oh, the guys,
Speaking
the
of
black
which,
and black
you,
guys are great.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you filled in for Swan Song before the Led Zeppelin tribute
Well,
band, right? Like got up and
way back in the day when they were, they've been around a long time. I mean, there was a time I actually sang a night because Eddie was sick, blah blah blah. Up to speed now. When I'm around, there's a bevy of songs that Led Zeppelin catalog as the bass player sits the bass down and plays the keyboards. Well, if Eric's in the crowd, hey man, play the bass.
Gotcha.
Cool. So I get to get up and play with him, play bass, and it's hey, it's therapy to me.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. I'm sorry.
No, the deal for me was staying away from it was the focus on writing and creating stuff that I had to say about life, original stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the rest of life. You know, I mean, personal life, the tequila company, I'm a golfer. I love to golf. You know, different things, but. You know, and what I've been through in life is to try to when I make the time to play the organ or play the guitar, record and stuff, I'm trying to write something that I have to say about life.
Right on.
And so the focus of I stayed away from the tributes so that the focus would stay on what I was doing.
Gotcha. Makes perfect sense.
We were talking the other night about Bad Company, and I think it was you that said that there was hardly any nationwide. So it's not a saturated market,
Right.
Which wasn't the call that came in because it came from Kevin to start with was I'll listen.
Yeah.
The first thing I said was two things: you're in charge, I'm not.
That's a good important boundary to.
You're in charge, I'm not. Which all I really know is how much, what's the song, where to show up and play. So that there's no headbutting, no egos, no logistic issues, which I can't stand.
Yeah.
And it's to get people, especially later in life when people have jobs and wives and cars and all this that goes on, it's a headache. Mm-hmm. It's a headache that I don't want to deal with. And that was pretty much it. The way you're in charge. And the second one was you're calling me and to put it in like you're making a soup or a dish or your recipe.
Little K-nut spice thrown into the Bad Company pot.
And if you're looking for something that's not quite that spicy, keep calling somebody else. No hard feelings. But
And my response was, I called you for a reason.
And now we're good.
And there you go.
I would imagine it wouldn't have been too long of a conversation.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't really. And I was like, that's great. And then I don't know. Had you already talked to James?
No.
Prior?
No.
Okay.
I kind of had James in mind because I had gone in and sat in with his Tesla band. Their singer had laryngitis or something one night.
Okay.
So he called me up. I think Christian Rock Meyer was the one who may have facilitated this. I'm not sure. But anyway, he got a hold of me and asked me, like on a Thursday, if I could come out there the next night and do some Tesla. And I was like, yeah, So we did that, and
great song, great singer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a very unique singer too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So I was extremely impressed with James as a drummer and as a vocalist. He did a lot of the background vocals, a lot of the high stuff, and obviously that's material that he knows very well because they've been doing that for a while.
Right.
And they know the guys in Tesla. They're friends with them.
Oh, no shit.
And are kind of. I'll stop short of saying they're endorsed by them, but they are. They'll play the after show
sanctioned a
parties
little
and
bit,
all that
like
stuff.
they won't be getting no cease and desist orders.
Oh, no. Actually, Troy Laquetta has sat in with them.
Really?
Well, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And stuff like that. So I kind of had James in the back of my mind, but Eric was the first call that I was going to make. And
that's what I think too.
And the interesting thing for me about James McClester is we've known each other since when we're high school. Now I'm a few years older than he is, but the Richland Hills to HEB thing, the Hearst thing. In fact, when we played O'Reilly's, which was our first gig, right before we started, I said, well, it took 30 years, but we're finally doing a gig together.
Better late than never, right?
Yeah. And I kind of felt the same way about us.
Yeah. So it's been cool. It's been cool. And we recently added Tony Brock to play in bass.
Right on.
Yeah, who is a guy that I've grown up with since first grade.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff in EKG, right? He's one of your ace in the holes. You just call him up.
It's one of the yeah, absolutely.
And he can jump right in and fill in
and
like
blues,
nothing.
a blues background, a singing background, has a high pitch, does harmonies, and because we've known each other so long and played tons of gigs before, we have that telepathy where I can look at him, he can look at me, and like the first
body language,
Well, the first time we got together, I could see like he had that look like I'm not sure what the next note is, and I went over and went, it's G and D, and then he hit it, and the next time it came around, he didn't miss it.
Right on.
And there's
Just
that
one
level,
time around, man.
yeah, there's that level of talent that exists that is awesome.
Yeah, it's great to have a guy like Tony be able to step up. Our original bass player was Quinn Smith, and Quinn's a great guy, incredible bass player, and unfortunately timing just wasn't right. He's got a lot of things going on.
He's a 2-time cancer survivor as well, too,
he is,
right?
he is,
That's
yeah.
awesome. The guy's he's in a bunch of different bands.
Yeah,
and
he's got a lot going on with his jazz situation right now, playing with Russ Hewitt, who's an incredible guitar player. And so Quinn has an incredibly full plate. And it just worked out where, unfortunately, like I said, the timing wasn't right. So happily, Tony was able to step right in. He knows the songs. He told me the other night he's a big Bad Company fan, so this is kind of
Putting on shoes.
a perfect thing for
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Cool.
Putting on shoes that fit, yeah.
that's awesome.
And honestly, I don't know about you, but when we got together and we actually ran through our set without anything, and it was smooth.
Ah,
Yeah.
It was
on the
like-
first try.
Yeah, all the way through.
Man.
Yeah,
You can't ask
like
for better
Like
than
it was
that.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much didn't have to stop and
Yeah. Where's
Do
it go?
anything.
I mean, it's the fabric of our lives. I mean, this is music that we grew up on.
yeah.
Not cotton music.
The fabric of life.
Yeah, that's the true fabric of life.
Yeah.
So you guys going to play some songs for us here in a little while. Right now, let's play a video. I wanted to show you guys, in case you didn't know or haven't seen them, these guys in action in their respective groups to see kind of put into context what they do on their stages and then how they're going to maybe bring it together on one stage. So
Cool.
Pam,
And Mike
if you
Sloan,
don't-
good to be
yeah,
seen.
Mike Sloan,
Everybody
Jeff
watching.
Good to be
Jones is
seen.
on.
Good to be alive and
Yeah,
well.
what up,
Jennifer,
Beamer?
Tammy, Nikki. Oh,
Yeah, man.
there's a bunch of you guys.
Happy birthday,
Thank you,
Drucker.
everybody.
Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Amanda,
We're going to rock out. for
Mandy.
sure.
Jeff Beam Jones.
Jesus,
hope you're
there's
doing a
everybody.
lot better,
Michelle.
man. Hope you're feeling good. And good to see you on here, man.
That's right. He
You
had
guys
some,
are awesome.
Some major health problems the past month or so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, glad to see you here, brother. Need to come be on here sometime. Hang out
Right.
with us.
Hell
Hang
yeah.
out with us, man.
Do you mind if I play that video from the last Pull Getter event in August? It's an original song you wrote where you're playing the keyboard.
Oh,
Can I play that one? It got a
Go
pretty
ahead,
well
go ahead.
reception.
It was. The setup for me is that you always wanted to go better than you thought it went. But
Yes.
when I, and it was it's a song called "Gifted," and I'm a cancer survivor as well. I've survived cancer
Amazing.
25 years.
That's right.
Congratulations.
And
That's
so
amazing.
it has made life and every breath a gratitude. I mean, every to wake up and alive is like, yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
it's good to be seen. It's good, it's good to see you. It's good to be seen. Lyrics like that.
Shit, man.
and,
Just
you know, it's-
Livin.
It was Kevin, the tattoos who played that night. There was so many issues with. I mean, almost canceled actually because it was just the logistics went down. But nevertheless, yeah, go ahead and play it. It's a very heartfelt
Personal song.
one of those. A friend of mine says, man, when you're out on stage, you're naked. You're just exposed to everybody. Like, yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So
That's
it's called
true.
Gifted. Yeah,
First time I
absolutely
ever
right.
seen you play organ on stage, too.
Cool.
So that's pretty
it's
cool.
the first time I played in public. A Hammond
Oh,
organ.
right on.
Yeah.
You guys get to see. I haven't put it on anything on
Cool.
the internet
Yeah.
yet, so this
Yeah.
will be the first time a lot of you have seen it unless you're at the
Yeah.
event.
Go for it.
Pam, you want to hit us with it? And then you guys will be playing live.
Having a good time so far, eh? Kevin Two's on the drums. This is a tune I've been working on for quite some time, and on this Hammond organ, 1964. Been a gas having one. It's called Gifted. Did your life bring joy to others? Wake up in the morning, put your feet on the floor. Another day to be grateful, to be alive. What will you choose, my friend? What will you say to this question at the end of your day? Did your life bring joy to others? Did you sing and praise one another? Did you dance, smile, and have a good time? Did your life good to see you again? It's good to be seen. Love in every breath. I hope you know what I mean. Counting every blessing. Family and friends all will depart from here. And brother, we shall meet again. Did your life bring joy to others? Share your smile. Share your smile with a friend. And some love, and the joy never ends. Feel the love, share your joy. Feel the love and praise the Lord. Feel the love, share your joy. Feel the love and praise the Lord. Megan, just so you know, that's coming from a man who is 54 years old and has survived cancer for over 25 years. This guy right here. And that's what I can tell you. That's enjoy life. Every breath is precious.
Bada bing.
And so I told the guy, like, you're not supposed to make eye contact when eating bananas.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're live. All right. Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Smooth.
This is the Desolation Angels show.
Like that,
This is like the pre-show. You get to see them before their next show, Friday after Thanksgiving, at Gas Monkey Bar and Grill.
Correct.
And it's going to be badass. So when you're getting over that turkey coma and you just want to fucking get out and rock and avoid all the fucking Black Friday shit, it's like head out there and have a drink with your buddies and jam out to some Desolation Angels, which is going to be bad company. And I think with these guys, I think a lot of people are going to think the songs are better after you guys, stank them up a bit.
Zhuzhed them up.
You're far too kind, but I hope so. I hope everybody enjoys it.
Put on the sauce.
Yeah, it's going to be a killer night, man. The Snakeskin Cowboys, our buddy Jimmy Adcock's
That's right.
Ted Nugent Band is going to be opening the show, and then we're going to play, and then the great Back in Black rocking some AC/DC.
That's awesome. You know what I want to see that night? I want to see like a finale thing where all you guys come out together and do
And play what?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
No, that's what they did at the Generation X show a few months back. Is all the guitarists, Steve Vai and Zach Wilde and all these guys, they all did their respective shows, and then at the end they all came out and did Bohemian Rhapsody. So 6 guitarists up there, badass as hell. So I think that'd be cool to see you guys do that.
One of the coolest things I ever saw right after Dime passed away, probably about a year after Dream Theater played at Verizon, and a couple of other bands were on the bill, and unfortunately I can't remember who they were, but they all came out at the end of Dream Theater's set and did Walk and Cowboys and Cemetery Gates, man, and James LaBrie singing Cemetery Gates. It was,
Man.
dude, I'm still getting
Jeez.
chills from it. It was incredible.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, I like those big jams like that. And I don't know, we'll see.
The good thing about y'all's show being right after Thanksgiving is these days everybody's hyper focused on, I need to get fit, I need to work out, blah, blah, blah. Well, the best day to work out is right after Thanksgiving, right? Because you've eaten everything. Well, get to a show, jump up and down, man. Enjoy some music, let that be your workout. Screw the gym.
Yeah, get a little sweaty, man.
Yeah,
That's what
for
it's
sure.
all about.
And get away from your dysfunctional family Thanksgiving.
Ding, ding, ding.
Screw Uncle Ted, I'm going to a show.
See ya.
That's right, man.
Screw the real Uncle Ted. I'm going to go see Jimmy Adcock play Uncle Ted.
Right.
There you go.
So-
I understand he's doing a good job of it.
I'm sure he is, man.
yeah.
He's a great.
Haven't seen him yet.
I haven't seen him
Another
yet either.
phenomenal
But
guitarist.
But
He's a great
Yeah.
musician.
So we had
dude.
him on here a couple months ago, and we mentioned doing a blues thing because a whole segment of the thing we started talking about the old '90s blues scene here in Dallas Fort Worth with the Jubilation and JJ's Blues Bar and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we because my mom was a blues singer, so I was 14 years old taking my guitar to all these places so I could play that Tracy Chapman song. Give me one reason to stay here. I knew that, and Mom was like, "Oh well, you need to come up and play it." So, but all them big guitar guys, they weren't gonna let no little kid get up on their stage, So
I used to love JJ Blues Bar because I could get in there underage and drink.
oh, right on, dude.
But I probably shouldn't say that. Well,
Hey, it's
it's been 30 years ago. Who cares?
that reminded me of the old juke joint blues bars too.
Yeah.
Like you saw on Color Purple or something.
Oh, by the way, joining us
I
now
was just about to get that. So,
is our wonderful bass player and vocalist, Tony.
Tony.
Hey, round of applause, round of applause.
Hey, it's fucking Tony here.
Tony.
Thank you
Hey,
for clapping
forget
me.
about it.
Anthony.
He already has the clap, but now...
I was going to
wait.
say, that's a totally different situation when he walks out of a bar and says that.
Yeah.
We already.
Three varieties, yeah.
Tony has a good background of different music stuff. He actually was with Marvin Fields.
Marvin Fields and the
Oh, yeah?
Access.
Yeah.
The
That's-
Jimi Hendrix tribute.
Yeah, the best tribute I've ever seen.
Marvin Fields is fantastic. He's a great guy. and he's a good man. And he also thinks he's Jimi Hendrix sometimes. So I just want to let you know that.
He's going with it, man.
Yeah, man.
Had a wonderful time playing with those guys, and I have recently had a jam session with them, so they're doing good.
Awesome.
Right on.
Yeah.
So you got your hands in a bunch of different projects going on too.
Oh, you call me a band slut?
Hey, man. I would
Well,
be
if the shoe
if,
fits.
if I got out more. I would be. So
Recording in Dublin.
I love to play. I've got a classic rock band that we pretty much don't even gig much anymore. We just have a good time and get together and jam, and
that's what it's about.
just this and that. I've got an original project going called Asphalt. So we're playing some smaller venues, one set gigs, and that's fun too. And then I'm really excited about this band.
I am too.
yeah.
That's so cool. Another reason I asked is, bass players and drummers. It's hard to find one that's only in one band around here.
Right, and that's worth their salt, for real. It's the drummer and bass players. It's interesting. It used to be singers you couldn't find. You can find those a dime a dozen, just like guitar players now. But a good bass player and a good drummer that wants to dedicate themselves to really doing well for your band is nearly impossible.
I might add the caveat that a good singer is not a dime a dozen.
Power to you.
Here.
Ironically enough, one of our last gigs, I have a guy that calls me occasionally and wants to get out and play, and with the logistics we've already discussed about somebody can't make this, somebody can't make that. He's like, "Do you know anybody?" And we had somebody lined up to play the drums whose mother had passed away. Of course, you can't. Hey man, we got a gig. And,
Show must go on, dude.
And so I said, "Well,
Some people are like that.
I know.
he came up with I normally play bass with him, which I enjoy doing for a multitude of reasons. It's a different therapy. It's all therapy to play, and so he had a drummer that Friday night because I can't find a drummer Saturday, and I was like, well, would it be okay with you if I played bass Friday and then drums Saturday? Well, yeah. Got him to play bass on Saturday.
Badass.
So for me personally, I got to play bass one night and drums the next. It was awesome.
Yeah,
and then
Did the whole rhythm section.
the funniest thing that Tony said to me, I popped by his house. Hey man, you do anything Saturday night? No. Got a gig, pays this. He goes, what's the set list? Don't worry about it. Just show up.
Yeah.
He
That was great. That was
looked just
great.
like that. I've never ever heard you say that ever.
Wow.
Eric is a stickler sometimes about gigs and having everything perfect, and to hear him say that to me was a shock. Just show up, no set list. We'll just improvise.
And we had such a great time because it's Steve turns around. Steve picks a lot of cool songs, but he'll turn around and go, okay, this is an A, and there's a bridge where it might hit a C or whatever, and you just go with it. And the songs that he picks leave a large dynamic open to be dynamic. You could staccato or you can whatever. It was a lot of fun. When we got done, it's like, are we done? This is great. Yeah.
I believe we did Shooting Star too.
Did we?
Yes, we did.
Awesome.
All right.
Give
I don't
away
even know.
You give away the set
I don't know.
list. You give away the set
They don't. He
list.
just turns around and says, we're going to play this. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
this
funny
is-
enough, Tracy Chapman was one of those songs.
Oh,
Oh,
that same song?
did you give her one
give me
reason to stay there?
here. Yeah, oh yeah.
Who sang it?
Just
You?
turn it back around.
Oh, he did. That's Steve leads.
Oh, okay.
He plays guitar and sings.
Mhm.
He just, we follow him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
Had a good
absolutely.
time.
A lot of fun.
Had a good time doing that
Very
gig.
cool.
It wasn't you got a fast car.
Yeah.
It's a good song, too.
That's for young
You remember
people.
when
got
we
an
were
old,
driving?
got an old pickup truck, man.
Driving in my car, speed so fast.
Yeah. You gotta love it, man.
Wait a minute. We got a new tribute band starting up
I
here?
think so.
Oh no.
Corey Chapman.
Corey Chapman.
You have to shave your head.
Yeah.
I know, right? So, what was it like when you got the call? And was it was Eric that called you, right?
Mm-hmm.
On behalf of the band, the rest of the band.
Yep.
And did you knew Tony ahead of time, right?
Yeah, we've jammed a few times with Eric over the years.
Yeah.
So, and then like last year, we did a really cool thing. Eric had a Christmas concert, and we did this choir. There
Oh,
were
I
like
remember seeing the video
10
of
or
that.
12
yeah.
of us. Michelle Johnson was part of it, and a few other people. And we accompanied Eric on stage and sang some sort of.
Gospel
One of
Gospel
them was
hymns?
a traditional gospel song, and one was one that I wasn't familiar with, but a couple of really cool tunes. So, yeah, Tony and I have played together a few times.
Yeah,
I
you
think
did the
first
whole
made
road.
acquaintance is,
We had robes and everything, man.
way back
Sister
around
Act.
before 2000. Jimi Hendrix band was playing with Little Green Men at certain clubs around Dallas, and that's the first time I started meeting you.
Yeah,
Oh, right
yeah,
on.
that's right.
That was way
20
on back.
years ago.
Way on back.
Way back.
And now you guys are almost up to your 6th album, right?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
right.
good
Yeah.
Lord, you guys are working on that now?
Congratulations.
Yes, we are.
man.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're doing an album of a few songs that are older LGM songs that Motown and Ryan and I were not on from the early '90s.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
we play them live.
I keep forgetting that you weren't the original singer or whatever.
Yeah, I've only been in the band 16 years, so I'm the
Right.
youngin'.
He's still the new guy.
I'm still the new guy.
Yeah.
Well, the funny
What's
thing
up,
is,
Newstead?
yeah. The funny thing is, when I joined the band, I went out to, I knew Andrew. We went to college together, so we've known each other for a long time. And he called me up to put an ad in the Harder Beat to say that he was looking for a singer. And actually, he said, "What I want to say is, I'm looking for a musician whose instrument is their voice." And what had happened a couple of months prior to that is I was in a band called Sin Opera, and our rhythm guitar player was at a Big Iron show, and he got in the mosh pit and ended up breaking his little pinky and ripping it back and having to have surgery. Actually, it was on his left hand, so he was toast. So I happened to be available, and yeah, I know. So I told Andrew, I was like, well, I happen to know somebody. I can save you the $50 for the personal ad. And he goes, well, who's that? And I said, me. He goes, really? Yeah. So I went out there on Wednesday night, and we jammed for like 4 hours on Maiden and Rush and Queen and all that stuff. And he says, well, we've got a gig Friday, so if you want to come out, maybe you can do one set, and we'll see how it goes, and then we'll fill in the rest. And I said, all right. So I went and did the gig. We played for 4 hours. Everything we knew. I knew a few of the LGM songs already, the older ones.
Nice.
So he never actually told me I was in the band. So
Oh, wow.
16 years later, we just started gigging, and and we started recording. They already had an album that was in the can with somebody else's vocals on it, and lyrics and all that. So in about a 3-week period, I wrote 10 songs with them. Actually 8, because one was an instrumental and one was Big Chrome Engine that Andrew wrote. So I wrote my own lyrics and melodies and went in and recorded the album, all within a few months.
That's what I was going to say.
A few
you-
weeks, really.
You covered that one up pretty well.
Yeah.
Just boom. So let's
So-
get this one out quick.
So yeah, 16 years later, I'm still not officially a member of Little
That's
Green Men.
hilarious.
And
Legal
3
reasons,
albums.
I'm sure. You get signed and you start making
Still trying
demands.
out.
They start busting out these facts.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Hey, just in case
You got to have a rider.
Yeah, exactly.
Have Jaeger on your rider or something.
For sure.
Yeah.
No brown M&Ms. That's the only
Oh.
caveat.
Cool. And you guys working on a new album?
Yeah, like I said, we're going to do some of those old tunes, and then we are actually trying to. We're in the process of writing some new ones right now.
Cool. Awesome.
And we had hoped to have it out this year. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But,
Yeah.
yeah,
6
we
weeks.
Kind of ran out of time. But well, we've had a variety of things. Life getting in the way. Andrew's kids are getting older, and he's got to be involved in their lives, and so is Ryan. His daughters are both extremely active in acting and dancing and singing, and so
And you got a new motorcycle, so
yeah,
you
man,
know,
and,
it's hard to get you away from that thing.
Right.
How's that working out?
well, Christy and I we're getting married in June, and
Congratulations.
thank you. And our lives have been busy as well. We have 2 very young grandchildren and a third step grandchild he's 8, and they have become a huge part of our lives, which is awesome. I love it.
Right on.
I never thought that I would skip over being a dad and go straight to being a granddad, especially when I'm still in my 40s. But, whatever. It's all good.
Probably for the best, man.
That just means that I'll probably live to see great-grandchildren,
Right.
Yeah.
Lord willing. And, yeah, it's awesome, man. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations on all that, man. Best of luck to you.
thank you.
On
So,
this new-
so, yeah.
DJ way.
PGA Way.
Hey, and Bob Kirk, I just saw that. Thank you. God damn, when are you going to come hang out with us, man? Thank you so much.
I think he lives up in Indiana or something.
I know.
but-
Come hang
Bob,
out.
thank you so much. He shares. He gets the word out about the show every week.
You're
He's a
right,
top
man.
fan.
We do.
Yeah, he's our top fan.
Dig the hell out of
We
that.
love our top
That's
fans.
awesome. Thank
I'm gonna.
you so
I need
much.
to. I'll send you a Scum Scunch CD as soon as I go and visit Stuart again. I meant to see him Saturday, but we're hanging out celebrating Mark's birthday. So, happy birthday, Mark, out there. I know you're watching too. So, but Tony, how was that phone call? When Eric
it was
called you up,
enlightening.
he said, "Hey, man,
It was enlightening.
I got a tribute band for you. Guess."
It was good. It was a good feeling. Eric, I played gigs with Eric for many years, and he's fired me a few times because,
Yeah.
I always wanted to, try to redeem his trust in me, and it was good to get that phone call that he's giving me a chance, and I'm ready to do it.
Good dude right there, man.
Yeah. And so
But he said
it was fun.
It's kind of funny because when I was putting this band together, Tony was one of the people that I thought of first. But I wasn't sure what the situation was because I knew you weren't currently playing with Eric, at least the last couple of times I'd seen. And then, I didn't know what else was going on in your life. And
Be best just let Eric make that call.
yeah, I mean, and things happened. And I also, of course, I also had Quinn Smith on my mind because I knew how great of a player he was. And so, we tried to make that happen. But again, like I said, the timing just wasn't right. So it's great to have Tony on board.
Awesome, yeah.
He's a huge Bad
You got the
Company
skills,
fan.
man.
And he's a great player.
Lifelong Bad Company fan. Wore out all the records, and it was like I already knew the songs walking into the audition, but time to get better and have fun.
Yep.
And I know that we the other night when we all discussed more Bad Company material, but also adding cover tunes to play a whole night. Kevin had suggested a couple. I'm like, well, we already know those.
Right
and then
on.
I told Tom, I said, guess what? Kevin plays the trumpet.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that opens up all kinds of Chicago and
Yeah,
blood,
Yeah, it
sweat, and
does.
tears.
Certainly.
And whatever else.
And you're open to that?
Absolutely.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
So
I
you
haven't.
expand your cover range.
I haven't played the trumpet, professionally in a
be
while,
covered.
but I could. I mean, it's like riding the old
Yeah,
horse,
Exactly.
Just got to get my lips back in shape.
That's between you and your fiance.
Hey now, Christy. Christy, I know you're watching. I saw your name up there. Now you have a role in this too.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that's exciting to me because there's, to go out. I always think of like if we're sitting and we're watching a band, and when we play the songs we're mentioning or the bands that we're mentioning, what goes up? Oh my God, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
And nobody's out there.
Nobody's gonna play Spinning Wheel. You ever heard a
No.
band play Spinning Wheel or Chicago?
No.
Yeah.
Not with trumpets.
Other than the Chicago Tribute Band, which is gonna play Chicago all night. Which
Right.
there is one locally, and they're damn good.
Oh,
Man, that one from Russia, they are incredible. They're from the Ukraine.
I've seen those, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
they played in Dallas once, and they're coming back, and I'm going to that.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know about it the first time. Otherwise, I would have gone. But
And the cool thing, in addition, for Tony is Tony has that register, the high harmony register, and there's 3 lead singers sitting here. I mean, I just
And
said,
James
we
is
could all pick 5 songs and have a full set. I mean, right off the bat.
James is a great singer too. So maybe we'll mix in some. What's the
Some heavy
the
chorus
band
stuff.
or whatever?
Oh, take a load off Annie.
Yeah, take a
On
load
Cripple
off.
Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, up on Cripple Creek. There you go.
That would be awesome, dude.
Or maybe some Night Ranger. You could whip out some Sister
Oh,
Christian.
motoring.
5-piece
Motor
harmony would be
in.
awesome.
Oh, that
all
would be-
5 of
yeah.
you going at the
Well,
same
yeah.
time would be amazing. You know what I mean? When a note's hit and you got 4 other ranges that hit it on a
Exactly.
different level.
Yeah.
I mean, how amazing
Yeah.
is that?
You're right. If we're
And
doing
it's
it right,
not
there
easy.
is 5 of us. There's a phantom harmony.
Yeah,
that
you'll
comes
hear the
in.
phantom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
harmony.
Oh, yeah, that's spiritual there.
But you don't see him, but he's there.
Sometimes the best notes are the ones that aren't hit, and so yeah, exactly. It's the one that's implied.
That's where the Phantom resides. The Phantom X. Yeah.
All right.
So it's full circle.
Well, let's play a Little Green Men video now, since we're getting on the nitty gritty of time, and you guys are still going to play some songs live for us tonight. So,
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
little free show here in the PGA Clubhouse Sunday night, man, while everyone else is wasting their time with foosball games.
Payday. Payday. Yes, payday.
Oh no! I've been praying to the wrong God. I've been living all my life long. Been living if it feels good, it can't be wrong. Why not everybody else does? Doing everything just 'cause. After all, it's somebody else's fault.
This is not freedom. This is not war. This is not the powers that be. This is your life. This is your heart. This is your soul.
This is your destiny. Oh no! You better let go. It's only your soul. It's only your life and your eternity. Until you take your last breath, the flash will enter your head. Will you like what you see? Wake up! Now before it's too late, don't be a victim of your own fate. 'Cause we all gotta face our own judgment day. Truth hurts when you see your reflection and realize your reaction is determining everything you will become.
This is not freedom. This is not war. This is not the powers that be. This is your life. This is your heart. This is your soul.
This is your destiny. Oh no! You better let go. It's only your soul. It's only your life and your eternity. Until you take your last breath and flash a light through your head. Will you like what you see when you're dead?
I've been praying to the wrong God. Been living all my life long. Been living if it feels good. It can't be wrong. This is my heart. This is my soul.
This is my destiny. Oh no! You better let go. It's only your soul. It's only your life and your eternity. Until you take your last breath and flash a light through your head. Will you like what you see from your own legacy? Will they like what they see when you're dead?
He's all blank. Why not? Everyone else is doing it. To refuse would be square, and that terrible label must be avoided at all costs. Come on and take a look. Take a trip from Squaresville. Live a little and see what it's like for yourself. The senses are dulled just enough to be reckless.
Life. Oh, we're all right. Sorry, we're back, everyone. Welcome to PullgetterTV. Thank you guys for tuning in. I see Leslie Corman's watching. We love you, Leslie. Cody Carroll, Scott Hall, Bob Kirk. Thanks for helping get the word out. Thank the rest of you guys for joining and jumping in on the chat and hollering at us. We're here tonight with Desolation Angels. And I feel kind of weird calling them a tribute band because they're not really a tribute band in the more trendy, popular sense. You know, you guys are bringing your skills and you're going to play Bad Company songs and throw in your spice. Little EKG here, little Kevin White there, little Tony over there. You got a goulash of Bad Company going for Thanksgiving. So after you have Thanksgiving dinner this Thursday, man, go get you some of that Desolation Angel goulash at Gas Monkey Bar and Grill. This,
Bad Company Gumbo.
Yeah, there you go. This Friday. Bad Co Gumbo.
Yeah.
Need a T-shirt there.
Yeah, we do need a T-shirt.
So, yeah, check them out this Friday. Gas Monkey
Bar
and Grill.
By the way, the tickets are only $5 if you get them from us, because if you get them online, you know, you're going to pay the fees and all that kind of stuff. And I believe I've heard that they're $10 at the door.
Ah,
wow. So we've got tickets. So hit us up, you know, just go to the page and email one of us or, you know, text us, whatever.
Hit us up in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Parking lot party.
We live,
Hey, you!
We live kind of mid-cities and Fort Worth, and so we're kind of everywhere, so we'll meet you and hook you up.
Yeah. You guys, are they tangible? Do you have them?
They are, yes.
We'll meet you at 2 in the morning if we know you're coming.
Hey, there you go.
Did you bring any with you?
I know that guy very well.
Okay.
Henry Lewis,
Did you
Canton,
bring any with
Texas.
you tonight?
Hell no, I didn't bring any with
I'll
me.
buy some and give a couple away to some lucky fans out there.
Eric, you got yours with you?
No.
Of
What?
course not.
How are you going to sell the motherfuckers? You ain't even got them in your pocket.
Didn't bring it to PG.
Dude,
Just take your word for it?
listen, I was
No, I'm just
being a very big rock star all day today. We were cleaning house like hardcore. And so my mind was elsewhere.
I understand.
And I
dude,
totally
don't worry.
forgot.
But,
I meant to bring some.
but that's awesome. I mean, $5 to get
Yeah.
a show with the Snakeskin Cowboys and Back to Black. Awesome tribute band. So
Yeah.
this Friday.
A lot of great music, too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get Uncle Ted and AC/DC and Badco.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just rock and roll right there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it's all about.
Yes.
And since you guys aren't an ordinary tribute band, you could also throw in. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself into that stigma of playing only Bad Company stuff. You want to do other Paul Rogers stuff, or
Yeah.
anything else? You
Eventually, we're going to be adding some tunes from the from Free, you know, and of
Awesome.
course, the Firm, his stuff from the '80s.
Yeah.
And we already do one Free tune all right now, of course, which is, you know, everybody thinks that's Bad Company, but it was actually Free, his band before that. Yeah, him and Simon Kirk.
And that's great. You do the Firms because you'll be playing Jimmy Page stuff, and you talk about restrictive. If you were to play that note for note, you would almost have to learn to unplay a little bit, you know, and get sloppy.
Sure.
We'll see.
I'm not. I mean, Jimmy Page is the reason I picked up a guitar in the first place. I love him. He's one of the top best guitarists. But I mean, when people say he's sloppy, there's a reason for that, you know. But to me, it doesn't matter. It still fucking rules.
That's rock and roll, man. It's
That's
supposed
right.
to have a little slop to it. I mean, some of my favorite guitar players, I love Steve Vai, and I love those guys. I mean, I really do. But then, you know, you got Jimmy Page, you got Ace Frehley, you got, some of those cats from the 70s that just there's something to be said for balls behind the guitar.
Yeah.
In addition
Sure.
to
Exactly.
technicality. You know.
Absolutely.
Same thing with vocals and everything else. You can be pitch perfect. You can be dead on. You can sing Ave Maria note for note, but you got to have soul too. So
The feel knob.
And that's what you guys have, a whole bunch of field knob up in this Desolation Angels tribute band here. So
Cody Carroll. Look at that.
Cody,
Hey,
right? That's a
sexy
blast from the
motherfucker.
past right there.
Cody Carroll.
Been a while since I drank Jim Beam with that guy.
We've all
Neither
drank
one of us
Jim
probably
Beam.
drinking as much as we used to anymore either. you know?
Yeah. Yeah, getting
So.
old sucks.
I want to test your knowledge on some Bad Company stuff, if that's cool.
Well, we'll do our best.
I'll tell you what, I'll make it multiple choice just to
Oh, all right.
kind of make it easier for you.
Yeah.
So, which Bad Company album was released in 1975? Do you know without the choices? Okay.
Probably not.
A. Burning Sky. B. Run with the Pack, C. Bad Company, or D. Straight Shooter?
It's not Bad Company because that was earlier on, right?
I was.
Or was
75 is fairly early.
it? Well, yeah. I thought well,
I don't know.
you may know better than the rest of us. So you think it's that one? Do you think it's
I was going to say C.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Bad Company? No, it was D. Straight Shooter.
Straight Shooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing great.
All right, so what album came out in 1976? The year later.
Running with the Pack.
Good job. Didn't even need multiple choice for that one. Which Bad Company album shows a little boy on a motorcycle on the album cover?
It's not Desolation Angels, I don't think. That one has a whack cover.
It's a good thing we don't have a table full of bugs. Y'all have no idea.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, you need some bugs.
It could have been really bad for y'all on this one.
We did a little trivia game last week. For those of you guys that didn't watch the Thanksgiving Gross Out show, they were eating Beatles. And,
Yeah.
If you got a question wrong, you had to eat all kinds of horrible.
Yeah.
We might sing some Beatles, but we're
A lot
going
of
to be
bellies
eating
got
any
full
Beatles.
that night.
Ooh.
So, what was the answer to that?
The multiple choice.
Oh.
Here Comes Trouble, Run with the Pack, Straight Shooter, or Bad Company. Has a picture of a little boy on the motorcycle on the album cover.
Running with the Pack.
A. Here Comes the Trouble.
Here comes
Here comes the
Here Comes Trouble. Yeah.
All right, we're one and two.
Which Bad Company album has only a picture on it?
Only a picture.
Only a picture on it. I didn't make these up. I just ripped these off.
You know?
Bad Company.
Yeah, some of y'all can join in.
Yeah. Y'all are welcome to drop
in
your-
if you guys know the answer. Win 2 free tickets to the show this Friday if you beat these guys.
Hey, there you go.
There
Well,
you
there's
go.
a 10-second delay, so it might be hard to work with that.
Good luck.
Would that be Desolation Angels? Is that a picture that's on that cover? It's a something. It's a weird piece of art. I
It's
know
Burning
that.
Sky.
Okay, screw me.
So how many?
Or the runner-up prize.
How many Bad Company albums have Bad Co. on the album cover?
Definitely the first one.
There's A is 2, B is 3, C is 0, D is 5.
I know one thing. We've been learning the songs, not the album cover.
Hey, I'm just testing here, you know.
Can I make a guess? I have no idea. Can I make a guess?
Sure.
I'm going to say 3.
3 is right.
Holy Lord.
Wow.
It was just the middle number.
It'll be the lead for you.
That's all. Like when you're taking your TOS tests at school,
Oh,
Yeah,
you
right.
always go a
Go
C.
C.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Which Bad Company song says, I ain't got no money? You should know this, your lyric guys.
Yeah, I should.
A, Shake It Up, B, Excited, C, One Night, or D, Bad Man?
No, we don't play any of those.
I'd say D.
Baby, I'm a bad man.
It's C, One Night.
Well, fuck.
All right. And here's one. I'll just do one more. Where was the... where did Bad Company's debut album end up on the Billboard charts? A, number 24, B, 10, C, 1, or D, 8?
You sunk my battleship.
I think that it didn't do that well. I think it was 24.
It says here number 1.
Number
Wow,
one,
well,
Bad
that's
Company.
pretty good.
I
I
would have
mean-
gone with 8. I would
You're
have
only 23 off.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
I know, right?
It was the song Bad Company.
Oh, there you go then. See?
Well, yeah, there you go.
So,
I mean, I knew it was a hit originally.
Where was the
initially.
Desolation Angels, the name of your band? Where was that album recorded? Was it A, a mansion, B, a castle, C, a studio, D, a hotel?
Well, they're on the Swan Song label, so I think it stands to reason that they might have recorded at Jimmy's castle, Aleister Crowley's castle. So that's what I would go with.
No, it's studio.
Well, damn.
They did one. I know. I was like, oh, that's a stupid answer, but I didn't get these. But I guess there was. It
Why
asked
does the
other
book
albums.
say recently deceased on the front of it?
That's from Beetlejuice,
The handbook
man.
for the recently deceased.
Okay.
Love that.
So yeah, all right, we got that out of the way. You guys got one right.
Hey, we got one right.
Hey,
All
you're
right.
not trivia players though, man. This ain't no game show.
Actually, Tony got another one right, but I stepped on him and I got it wrong, but he knew it. So
Hell yeah. So
But yeah,
this
what-
Friday, man,
Yes.
looking forward to a Desolation Angels show. Bad Company. You guys gonna play some live music for us. We'll go ahead and You guys warmed up. You were doing some harmony. You're doing harmonies. Harmonies.
Have you had any harmonies?
Harmonies. But yeah. So you guys were practicing your harmonics during the break there. Sounded pretty good. So if you want, we'll play a video and get you guys set up to jam. What do you guys think out there? You want to hear some Desolation Angels? Oh, you wanted the best. Oh, fist raise high, Chuck.
What up, Chuck?
What's happening?
What's up, Chuck?
Long time,
Up, Chuck.
man.
So,
You never heard that before, I'm sure.
what video we got now? Do you want to do a EKG video or a Little Green Men video?
You only have a Little Green Men video left.
All right.
Oh, we'll do that one then.
We're going to do that one. That's the best one.
Which one is this?
Devil went down to Texas.
Devil went down to Texas.
Cool.
This is a prime example of what how Kevin changes up originals and makes it their own. So this is actually a pretty good example on what you're probably going to see with Desolation Angels, if I had to guess.
There you go.
Check it out.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll be right back.
The devil went down to Texas, he was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind, he was way behind, he was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young man shredding on a guitar and playing it hot, and the devil jumped up on a hickory stump and said, "Boy, let me tell you what, I bet you didn't know it, but I'm a guitar player too. And if you care to take it there, well, I'll make a bet with you. And you play a pretty good guitar, boy, but give the devil his due. I bet a guitar gold against your soul, 'cause I think I'm better than you." The boy said, "My name's Johnny, and it might be a sin, but I'll take that bet. You're gonna regret, 'cause I'm the best there's ever been. Johnny, fire your tremolo and play your guitar hard, 'cause hell's broke loose in Texas and the devil deals the cards. If you win, you get the shiny guitar made of gold, and if you lose, the devil gets your soul." So the devil opened up his case and he said, "I'll start this show." Fire flew from his fingertips as he grabbed that tremolo. He pulled that pick across those strings and made an evil hiss. And a band of Little Green Men joined in and it sounded something like this. When the devil finished, Johnny said, "Well, you're pretty good, old son. Sit down in that chair right there. Let me show you how it's done." And he played "Fire on the Mountain, Run, Boys, Run." Devil in the house of the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Ready goes dark by no child, no. Johnny bowed his head because he knew that he'd been beat. He took off his guitar and he knelt down at the devil's feet. The devil said, "Johnny, your soul's mine. You committed the ultimate sin. You don't bet against me, you son of a bitch, 'cause the devil always wins."
BGA, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Desolation and Angels.
Baby, when I think about you, I think about love. Darling, if I live without you, I live without love. And if I had the sun and moon, they will shine. I would give you both night and day, love satisfying. Feel like making, feel like making love. Feel like making love. Feel like making love. Feel like making love to you. Baby, when I think about you, I think about love. Darling, if I live without you and your love, and if I had those golden dreams of my yesterday, I would wrap you in the heavens, feel it dying, dying all the way. 'Cause I feel like making, feel like making love. Feel like making love. Feel like making love. Yeah. Feel like making love to you. Yes, I do. And if I had the golden dreams of my yesterday, I would wrap you in the heavens, feel it dying, dying all the way. Feel like making, feel like making love. Feel like making love. Feel like making love. Feel like making love to you. Yeah. Well, I feel like making love. Said I feel like making love. Well, I feel like making love. Feel like making love to you.
Thank you so much.
Johnny was a schoolboy when he heard his first Slayer song. Rain and Blood, I think it was. From there, it didn't take him long. Got himself a guitar, used to play every night. Now he's in a rock and roll outfit, and everything's alright. Don't you know? Yeah. Well, Johnny told his mama, hey mama, I'm going away. Gonna hit the big time, gonna be a big star someday. Yeah. Mama came to the door with a teardrop in her eye. Johnny said, don't cry, mama, smile and wave goodbye. Don't you know, don't you know that you are a shooting star? Don't you know, don't you know that you are a shooting star? And all the world will love you just as long as you are. Well, Johnny made a record, went straight up to #1. Suddenly everyone wants to hear him sing a song. Watching the world go by, surprising it goes so fast. Johnny took a look around and said, hey, I made the big time at last. Don't you know? Don't you know that you are a shooting star? Don't you know? Don't you know that you are a shooting star? And all the world will love you just as long as you are a shooting star. Yeah. Don't you know that you are a shooting star? Don't you know? Whoa, don't you know that you are a shooting star? And all the world will love you just as long as you are. Johnny died one night, died in his bed. Bottle of whiskey, sleeping tablets by his head. Johnny's life passed him by like a warm summer day. If you listen to the wind, you can still hear him play. Whoa, don't you know that you are a shooting star? Don't you know? Oh yeah. Don't you know that you are a shooting star? Don't you know? Don't you know that you are a shooting star? Oh, Throw that one out to our brother Dave Williams from Drowning Pool, man. Doesn't seem like it's been as long as it's been, but he was a shooting star for sure. Yeah, we're not playing that one.
So who came up with the set list? Like, is it a mutual thing, or Eric, were you like, I want to take
As I said in the earlier interview, I told him, you tell me the songs to place and how much I get paid, I'll show up.
Yeah, that means it's pretty much me.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong. You pick all the greats. I mean, your favorite songs, and why not?
Well, you know, I mean, it's easy when you're doing a band called like Bad Company, because pretty much every song they had was a hit. Everybody knows them. Everybody can sing along with them, you know.
Yeah, it's best to just learn them all.
Pretty
That way
much,
you can read
yeah.
the crowd and let them decide if they want sometimes.
Yeah, well, listen, we're not out there to play B-sides, so the songs that you hear are songs that you're gonna know for sure. And I mean, that's not to say that we're not gonna experiment a little bit. We certainly will.
Walk in my shoes. That's one of the ones I wanted to do.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that for sure. And as I alluded to earlier, we're gonna do some deeper cuts from Free and of course the Firm. And maybe even some Paul Rogers solo stuff. He did some great solo stuff in the blues vein, some Muddy Waters and stuff like that. So some Howlin' Wolf. So yeah, we'll see where it leads. For right now, it's Bad Company hardcore, and that's the way we like it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Right on.
Well, you gonna play another one for us? Or you want to come back to the interview?
Let's cut back to the interview. Why don't
Okay.
we? We don't want to let too many cats out of the bag.
Yeah, I understand.
Let's say Seagull. Seagull's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We fly. The sky.
Greatness,
man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Belvis has entered the building.
Thank you very much. We do want to say hello, all you coming out to the PGA. The first thing we're going to do is called Get Drunk. Bust it out, give it to us.
All right. We're back, everybody. That was EKG with Randy Bell, a.k.a. Belvis.
Belvis.
At the last Pull Getter event in August.
Elvis has entered the building.
Yeah, you guys might have. He was on the Pantera 3 home video at the end. A lot of you guys might remember him from that, but one of Dimebag Darrell's oldest friends gave him that Elvis outfit and the glasses and the whole nine, so he paid tribute with Eric, who was also friends with the Abbott brothers, you know.
Yeah.
So, amazing tribute. It was a lot of fun. Everyone had a great time, dude. So, thanks again for that.
Yeah,
You guys got
good
to see
time
it.
for sure. I had some a couple, an older couple that, of course, nobody knew, that were they came and showed up, and after I saw them later on, you know, the week later, whatever it was, they're like, we had such a good time, and there was so many really nice people there.
Yeah.
And it seemed like everybody knew each other. I said, they do.
Yeah, they do.
And I said, in addition to that, I said, people flew in from around the country to come in.
Right.
And then really, I said, yeah, it's really a good time. It's a celebration of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Mitchell Roebuck, man, such kind words. Just can't thank you enough for that. That's awesome.
Thanks, dude. That's
thank you,
cool.
everybody that's watching. I mean, Jimmy, Mark, Chris, and everybody that's joined in.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm glad you liked it.
Mr. Hoffman, Mark Hoffman. Whoa,
Yeah, that's right.
The Huffy.
So we're here with Desolation Angels. You guys, if you're just now tuning in, you just missed them perform a couple of songs live. I really appreciate you guys doing that. You know, most bands are particular about, being stripped raw, the soundboard and the stage and stuff, and just doing it live on the fly. And you guys, seasoned veterans that you are, fucking have no problem with it. Jumped right in, sounded great. So
Thank you.
Yep.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
thanks for having the cojones, bros. You know, I respect bands, even if we've had bands come and perform live and then be like, "Oh, that sucked, man." But it's like you still did it. You put out the character that you are. You know that you have the cojones to.
There's one thing that's unforgiving animal.
Exactly.
What'd you say?
It's an unforgiving animal.
Yeah, live.
Live and dry.
But you guys rocked it, man. You guys, you sound that good. You know, here stripped down. I can't imagine what it's going to be like, with the full band this Friday at Gas Monkey Live.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be powerful, dude. You guys bring that power.
And we are second, by the way. So, that dude, what's it called?
Snakeskin Cowboys, yeah.
Snakeskin Cowboys. I thought somebody said steakhouse or something.
Steakhouse Cowboys.
I can kind of go for that right
I've
now.
been playing guitar a long time, man. I can't hear. But we're second, so the snakeskin is first, and then we're second, and then AC/DC
Back in Black headlining.
Yeah, and I believe this show starts at 7. No, 8. I think Snakeskin plays at 8. We'll be at 9.
Well, you guys,
and then Bad Coat.
Not a bad time slot out of all that, but you guys got the meat. You're the meat and the sandwich.
I'm not complaining.
And the place. I mean, if you guys haven't been to the Gas Monkey Barn Grill where they're going to play, it's on a lake. Like, the stage is over a lake. They've got, there's that. That's just awesome anyway. But it's outdoors. It's beautiful. They've got several bars. The food is absolutely incredible.
The sound is amazing.
The sound is fantastic, and you're going to get to work off by joining with a bunch of music. You get to work off all that turkey. So,
and there'll be songs that you know from the start to finish, so you can sing your asses off.
Right.
It's a tryptophan tour.
Yeah.
And it says here
the audience is lethargic. We're just here because we love it, but man, that turkey.
Yeah, in the 70s, all those bands played for coked out audiences. We're playing for tryptophan.
Right.
Tryptophan
should be the name of the band. Yeah. It's got to be like a really slow rock band, though. Otherwise, it won't work.
Yeah, but it needs one of those death metal logos. It looks like a bunch of tree limbs.
Right.
Tryptophan.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Man. Wish they sold that in
And it's it's an outdoor show too. The high is 73 and the low is 60 on Friday. So
can't get any better than that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Right.
Just 2 layers of sleeveless shirts is all you'll need. So being in this, we were just talking during the break. The qualms about being in a tribute band and how you guys want to do it for fun and to work together and have a project to do together, since all these years you haven't really had a project together. But there's actually like other aspirations to pursue, because we're just talking about Paul, the Van Halen guy from Excess Whiskey, going on tour with his ZZ Top band, and he's over in Finland right now performing. I've been watching his live updates, going live stream from backstage in this huge arena, in Finland. And it's like, that's something to aspire to, right? Or is that something you're not interested in? You're just doing it for fun? I would.
We started getting on this earlier, and then we, oddly enough,
as it tends to
switched
happen.
topics. I don't know what
it
happened.
tends to happen.
But one of the reasons to get into the tribute scene, whether it's right or not, is that tribute bands play bigger halls.
Right.
They play in front of more people. It sucks. I wish it wasn't that way. Now, I mean, Little Green Men, we've played at Gas Monkey Live. We played at House of Blues. We've played some big gigs, as has Eric, as has Tony. I'm sure, we've played big gigs. That's not, but not on the regular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, these tribute bands, Back in Black, look at those guys. I mean, they tour House of Blues.
They're huge. They're
all
huge.
over the place.
And they actually look the part and everything too,
Oh, yeah,
with the
yeah,
shorts,
yeah.
and they do the
they're
dance
great.
on the whole 100%.
Def Legend, the Bon Jovi, whatever they're called, Blaze of Glory. Those guys are playing. And the Kiss tribute band,
Right.
with my buddy Christopher Paul, his band, they're playing
They
all
nail
over the
it,
place.
man. They
They're
nail it,
perfect.
dude.
They're great.
They nail it.
I mean, they put so much effort into not only the music but the show and everything.
Yeah.
Right,
Effort and
right.
money.
So
I
good.
mean,
Yeah.
So
they
good.
they earn their dollars for
He,
sure.
and, he and Steve look and actually are they? You can look at them and go, "That's Paul and Gene."
Yeah, they nail
I mean,
it.
they nail it. I mean, the
Like
way
they're incumbent. Like
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
They
They got
were,
the hairy chest and
we got
everything.
everything about it.
He's got to glue that shit on before every show. Little patches.
Right. So would
Thank
we
God
like
for
to?
Spirit Gum.
So would we like to be a part of that? Yeah, man.
Yeah,
of
course.
I mean, this band, I told these guys from the very beginning, this is not a band that we're not interested in playing, the small clubs and the playing for the door and all that kind of crap.
Right.
We've paid our dues, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we've been there and done that. Bought the T-shirt, sold the T-shirt, got boxes full of T-shirts in the garage.
Exactly.
So this is all about having fun as musicians, getting on stage as brothers and cranking out some good tunes and just having a good time and doing it in front of as many people as possible. That's what it's all about.
Hell yeah.
And you can always slip in an original somewhere in there.
Right,
You
there you
never
go.
know.
And let
You
them.
never know.
It'll be an Easter egg.
Back
you
in
know?
Black did a record of original material.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Well, now in the style of ACDC.
Yeah,
I
it
guess?
sounds like AC/DC.
Awesome.
I saw them at the House of Blues. I think this summer or sometime in the last year, they came out and played their own stuff,
It rocked.
and then went back and changed into character and came
Yeah,
back.
they
That's
do. They have
cool.
their entire own set.
Yeah.
Two different bands, the same
Yeah.
members.
And it sounds
Same
like,
show.
It sounds like we found an album that AC/DC never released.
Right,
Pretty
Right.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
It sounds just like it.
It really
Hey,
does.
Michael, yes, this is every Sunday, 7 to 9, so just wanting to put that out
Yes,
there.
sir.
But,
You can watch us on Facebook or YouTube or
but it's
Twitch
not always
and
as
Vaughn.
cool as having these guys here. So
Yeah,
you
we
you gotta understand, every show is different.
We love our old school brothers, and the fact that they agreed to come and jam in front of us, man. It's a very awesome event indeed. So, we're in Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. So,
Yeah, DFW.
I was wondering.
were you?
We do have people that I've noticed have been watching from other states the entire time. I had a couple of friends from other states that have jumped in and
Right on.
and talked. So you guys.
So any of you guys know club owners and stuff, hit up Desolation Angels.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Get them on tour, man. It'd
Yeah.
be cool. Then you run into Bad Company themselves, and before you know it, y'all are on stage together, like
Hey.
that Tesla thing. And,
Right,
You know the Tenacious D band in Dallas. Did you hear about
I
that?
heard about
Jack
that.
Black and Kyle Gass showed up on stage.
That's crazy.
So cool.
So it's not too far fetched.
I didn't even know there was a
I didn't
Tenacious
either.
D band.
I
I'd
didn't
love
either.
to see them.
I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
get them on
Yeah.
here too. You know,
Because I mean, they got to be pretty good.
Yeah.
you would think.
Yeah, you have to be a music. I mean, that's the thing with music like that is sometimes there's bands. I mean, it comes to Weird Al and Beck even sometimes where It's just they're such good musicians that they're like, I'm just gonna have fun with this, and hopefully you laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that makes it better, in my opinion, because you're able to go, I'm so good at this that I'm able to have fun with it, as opposed to I'm trying my damnedest to be the best. That
Weird Al's band has to be one of the best in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Man.
They're like all original members.
Yeah.
The musicians
And they
in
don't
that
play
band
the
are
tracks or anything. They do
Right.
they do that shit live.
amazing people.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I got nothing but respect for that.
For sure.
So do you guys have any other shows coming up besides this one Friday?
Not yet. This was the
No?
only one on the books. We will be doing lots of stuff coming up in the next few months.
I know
I was
Diamond
gonna
James is
say-
really booking. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
We're a tribute band. Diamond James is really pushing.
Yeah, actually, we were
Right now.
approached for a show at Diamond Jim's, but we couldn't do it because of other commitments.
Let me know. I can help you with that.
particular one, but we'll,
I have a good connection there. I can help you with that.
James, I know James is working on a few things. Our drummer James
Oh,
McMichael.
yeah.
McLester. I said McMichael. James McLester. I know he's got a couple of things in the works.
He's like everything. He's been in. If I'm not mistaken, tell me if I'm wrong. He's been in the Christian Hall of Fame for drumming, right?
Yes.
He's worked on, just multiple albums with many famous people. Like this guy,
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah.
In a good way.
So the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's the Christian Hall of Fame for drumming. That's huge.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That is
Anyway,
pretty
you
cool.
started to say something. I had cut you off. I apologize.
Oh, I can't remember, but I was going to ask anyway if you had been more, if you're just like lacking off right now to kind of just get these initial shows and feel out the stage before you start getting assertive with your, your booking or whatever.
This is only our second gig. So,
Right.
And our first one with Tony. So we are building something here, you know. And for our second gig to be at Gas Monkey with these other great bands, that's pretty cool. And we expect great things. We really do, and they will come. As long as we go out there and do what we need to do, take care of business, and we are certainly going to do that.
Right.
And those shows are going to come down the pike for sure.
Yeah, you guys will be getting calls. You ain't even got to look, man.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And then out of state, tribute or cover bands be hollering at y'all like, hey, can we play with you? And before you know it, you're setting up your own shows instead of even, getting booked on other people. But
Yep.
Oh yeah.
let's talk tequila real quick.
Yeah.
Because I happen to know this guy that is a part owner of this tequila company.
Dude, I love tequila, and I don't drink much liquor. I drink very little liquor. I was reading up on you today.
Number one.
I was bored and reading up on you today, and
weird how it's all delayed.
man, I was like, why have I not tried this liquor?
Yeah, that looks good. Number one, tequila. Have a
Number
wonderful day, everybody. 100% pure agave. So you want to tell us a little bit about this, man? Your partnership with famous people and these awesome shows you get to go to and promote. And
where would you like me to
well,
start?
first, are they going to be serving it at Gas Monkey?
I don't know. I don't know if they're there or not.
Get your reps
I'm
on
like,
the
how do I
horn,
go
man.
get you- how do I go get this?
In addition to gigs that will come, there will be Desolation Angel gigs that there will be tequila promotions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for
Why
sure.
not?
I think that should be the way it is.
Man, it started 5 years ago, and now we're in 12 states.
Hell
Amazing.
yeah!
It's been I could talk a long time about it, but how it got started and the fact that it is not because it's our tequila. It's not really our tequila. The family in Mexico that grow and distill and bottle have never trusted anybody for 100 years to ever let anyone import it into the States because they were concerned that they would be mass produced. And the definition of that is when it catches on and people start to get a bunch of it, everybody wants to, then what happens historically with tequila, because the plant takes so long to grow, that people, the brands, we're a brand, would to start buying from different farmers to keep up with the demand.
Production, yeah.
And that's called mass production. So they don't want that to happen. We will not ever do that. And that was the agreement, and is the agreement that it will always come from their farm.
Okay.
To start with, and the first conversation I had with Alex Raimondo when he returned from Mexico was, "Did you speak any English?" He said, "No." I said, "Good. Do they know that this is not a bank loan? This is, we've known each other since second grade, and we're putting our day job money into putting the money down to try to start this brand, and that we're honoring your dad." When you see the bottle, on the neck of the bottle, there's one of those old cowboy sepia pictures. That's his deceased father who died from Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh, wow.
So we're honoring his father on the bottle. And,
that's awesome.
His name is Juan.
Excuse me?
His name's Juan.
No. Juan was actually their family, the man that actually started their production 100 years ago. It was Juan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that story.
And then, because it's not something like for us to have that don't speak Spanish or to try to have a difficult time remembering that number Juan.
Yeah.
Juan, I mean, of course, it's number one.
Right. And Alex Marindo's a comedian. We talked about him earlier on Netflix. So number Juan just kind of plays into the.
Well, and Alex actually had a part in a skit in his comedy about the number Juan NASCAR, like the first Mexican NASCAR racer, and the number Juan car.
Right on.
He's hilarious.
So, but they said yes, they agreed to it. Currently, there's myself, Fernando, and Alex, and Ron White came into it, and Ron and Alex have been friends since the 80s when Ron came to Arlington to do comedy.
Yeah.
Amateur night.
Wow.
Yeah, because you don't start at the top.
Right. No.
and it's gone from there.
Yeah.
And it's been real interesting, and there have been things that have happened that, we're all new. We're all green in this. We're normally on the side of the bar with the drinkers.
Right.
and now we're in this business and new and green, and it's like Jerry Maguire, where there's it's relationships, and loyalty and things, and you're the new kid on the in the dance, and you got whatever.
You got to pay your dues, man. And you
Alex,
did it. You used to drive around with cases in the back of your truck, doing promo scenes.
Yes,
you did the grunt work,
the
man.
The first cases that came to the DFW area, I hand delivered out of the back of my pickup truck. And in addition to saving on shipping, that because our import point is Laredo, so import into Laredo and then distribute from there, and to save on shipping costs and things, we had pallets shipped up to trucking companies, and they would put the pallet in the back of my truck, and and we'd drive it
bottoming out
miles
and shit
down the road and hand unload it in the legal area where you can keep it, and. Yeah, it's a 100% agave. The Revesca family will grow that plant a full 7 years, and that plant is a 13-year process. It's a 13-year plant basically.
Wow.
At 7 years, a big stalk will come up and flower if you let it. And these guys will harvest right before it flowers, so that the pina, which is the heart down in the ground, is just gooey and like a vine ripe tomato.
Yeah.
I love it when the pina's gooey.
And they distill it twice with the spring water from the tequila volcano, and there actually is one, the tequila volcano, and they're right by the all 100% agave has to come from the state of Jalisco. And what makes it unique is that 7 years, but they let that soul rest a year too, so it's 8 years. The Blanco, the silver, is an 8-year plant process.
Wow, right on.
And then the other two that are aged in barrels. The Reposado is aged 9 months and 2 different barrels and blended together. And the Extra Añejo is a Kentucky bourbon barrel that's been charred on the inside and aged 3.5 years.
Wow.
Right on, man. I love that shit. It takes a process, like Jack Daniels with their barrels, and it really pays in the end. You can totally tell.
Yeah, and no one else does that. No one else in Mexico does that process. And that's
very
why
cool.
It's as unique as it is.
And those of you Ron White fans out there, if you noticed, Tater Salad, if you still watch him, he used to come out and drink his scotch. Well, since you guys got in together with this tequila. You now see he's drinking number one tequila out there on his stand during his set.
Yeah,
So
He's not an endorsement. He's a brother. He's a family member. He's a full-fledged owner.
yeah.
So Michael Roderick asks you guys, will you come to Canada, Empire Theatre in Belleville? It'd be a good show. I can ask someone who works there in the Canadian music scene.
Hey.
Love to.
Hit us up,
Want to
man.
go to Canada?
Food, lodging, and a place to play, bro.
That's what we need.
And legal weed.
Yeah,
Michael,
dude.
thanks for everything, man.
Yeah, thanks, man, for that inquiry. You guys get out there and hit up Desolation Angels if you're a Bad Company fan. If you're not, fucking still hit them up anyway because these guys are talented in everything they do.
And they'll play.
So
they'll play their own music to do that as well as other. Yeah, I mean, it'll be the same. It'll be Bad Company, but at the same time, just their own version.
Yeah.
So different, so much better.
yeah, I guess you haven't really hit up the social media, just Facebook page, no Instagram. You probably need videos before you do a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
But
we,
all that.
we just have a couple of videos from the first show that Christy
Oh,
shot
cool.
for us, and so we hope to get a few more Saturday. Or
Well, I'll try to
Friday
get out there
things.
Friday and get you guys filmed. So
That'd
you
be
can have
great,
a
yeah.
nice thing. So
Still in the seed phase.
yeah.
Yes.
Starting to sprout.
This tribute stuff, you guys have done your own respective cover bands and stuff, but as far as picking a band to stick tribute to, it's a pretty new process for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was important to do a band that, as Eric alluded to earlier, is not saturated in the
Right.
market. You see in some bands, and I won't mention any names, but there are some bands that have 7 or 8 tribute bands, and of varying degrees of quality. And
Right.
so, first and foremost,
We like a reggae version of that tribute band.
Yeah, and it goes on and on. Like Kiss. I mean, there's a million Kiss tribute bands. There's only a handful of good ones.
Right.
Yep.
And they have to, they compete against each other and they have to outdo.
Yeah.
If they're going to be recognized, they have to be the best.
Yeah.
Because that's what Kiss was. So.
So, I mean, first and foremost, we want to be the best at what we do, and we want to represent the music of Bad Company, better than anybody.
Understood, man.
If you
So-
missed them playing, rewind to close to the top of the hour, and
Yep.
You'll be able to catch a couple of songs that they played for us
So-
here exclusively for you guys.
Absolutely. And go see them yourself live this Friday at Gas Monkey Live. And it's $5 if you get them from these guys. Now, I know I'll be paying you guys for a couple before you leave tonight. So get them from these guys or you're going to be paying 10 at the door. And then get them online, you're going to be paying fees and all that other stuff. So it's best to just hit these guys up at Desolation Angels on Facebook.
Yep.
Get your tickets for $5 a pop. Take your family if they're in from out of town. They want to go hear some rock and roll, and the soul of Bad Company. Take them out there and show them Gas Monkey, man. Introduce them to our local music scene.
Oh yeah, great place with great food. It's on a lake. The stage is on a lake. Why not enjoy it?
Exactly. Weather's gonna be nice.
Concert quality sound.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight and performing for us and everything.
Thanks for having us.
You guys have been my
Our
friends
pleasure.
for quite a decade now. I would say around 2007,
least,
2008. So always good times with you guys. I was very much looking forward to this show. So I thank you guys for agreeing to do it, and I hope to have you back as you get the ball rolling, and then in your respective normal groups. Got to have you back on Little Green Men. I hadn't been here in a while, and
Yeah, we'd love to come back.
so hell yeah. Anything else you want to say to the audience?
I will shamelessly plug a couple of LGM shows.
Yes.
We will be at Gas Monkey on December 21st for our 5th annual Hillbilly Orchestra and Little Green Men Christmas party.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so everybody come check that out. It's family friendly, except for Mongo. He's never family friendly, but it'll be a good time.
Come on, Bubba.
And then February
cage.
1st of 2020, LGM will be opening for the great Jason McMaster and Dangerous Toys at the Rail Club.
Oh, right on. You
Yeah.
got some badass shows coming up.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And also, we will be, I forgot, before February 1st, on January 25th, we'll be at the Foundation Room for the after party of Queensryche at House of Blues. So,
Wow.
Awesome.
yeah, hit us up on the LGM Facebook page and come check us out and come check out EKG wherever they may be.
Drink tequila.
Yeah,
one
number
tequila.
one. Have a wonderful day
No
every
shameless
day.
plug. Number1tequila.com. You can actually have it delivered to your door if it's not in your state.
Hey, that's awesome.
Go to taterstequila.com and then you can have it shipped to your door.
Taters Tequila, huh?
Taterstequila.com will go to a place in San Diego that will actually deliver, to your door. Yeah,
that's awesome.
If you're in Wyoming, you have it delivered to your door.
Yeah, so if you're out of state, you can still have it delivered to your house, dude. It doesn't get much better than that.
Heck yeah.
We just got Florida. Walgreens, believe it or not, Walgreens in Florida stocks hard liquor, and we just bagged 140 Walgreens.
Wow.
Across Florida.
Wasn't that a drugstore? Yeah, I guess. I guess it really
states,
is.
the gas stations, everything.
You gotta have drugs and booze, bruh.
I know, they go hand in hand, yeah. I need my prescription and a bottle of... Yeah. What about you, Tony? You got anything going on you want to plug?
I'm plugging the Desolation Angels.
That's
looking forward to
There
it.
you go.
Hell yeah.
I'm happy about it.
All right. We'll see you guys next week then on Pull Getter TV.
Thanks
for tuning in.
All the way.